There's been plenty of polling in the last month or so showing that Donald Trump isn't beating Joe Biden in any swing state in the country as of right now. But there's a bigger problem that the president has in the 2020 race. It's not just that he's losing the swing states. No, at this point, the man is losing, according to the latest polling, red states. Now, here's the thing about that. Those of us who follow presidential elections very closely and have done it for many years, you know that you typically don't have to worry about your red states and your blue states, right? Your blue states are going blue, your red states are going red. That's why they're labeled as such and not called swing states. California, New York, solid blue. Texas, solid red. Those are givens in electoral politics, except they're not this year. Texas has a chance, a small chance, to actually turn blue for this election cycle. The latest polling shows that Joe Biden is now up. He's up by 1 point, but he is beating Donald Trump in the solid red state of Texas. If that's not good enough for you, how about we take a look at Georgia? Also, solid red state in the deep South. And trust me, Georgia South is a lot different than Texas South, folks. I really cannot stress that enough. You know, I live down here, not far from Georgia, the Florida-Georgia line. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. And that's not the same kind of red that Texas is. Trust me. So, what's happening over in Georgia? Well, what's happening over in Georgia is that Trump has narrowed his lead. He has gone to beating Joe Biden by only 3 points, which is actually well within the margin of error for the state. So Georgia is now a statistical tie between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. What if we leave the South, right? What if we go to Midwest? What if we look at like Montana, right? Montana's a red state. Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 20 points in Montana. Surely Joe Biden can't be catching on Trump there, right? Well, unfortunately for Trump, yes, he is actually. Trump is only beating Joe Biden by 5 points in Montana. He is only beating Joe Biden by 5 points in Kansas, another state that he beat Hillary Clinton by 20 points in. So those massive margins that Trump had in 2016 over Hillary Clinton in these red states, they have disappeared. The gap is closing, and Joe Biden is closing it. Now, ever since February, March, right? We've been talking about these polls ever since it was clear that everybody had coalesced around Biden and he was going to be the nominee. They've showed Joe Biden winning. First by very narrow margins. Actually, at one point, he wasn't winning. And then he was. And it was tight. And then he was. And he was, They've just gotten bigger and bigger. And every time we talk about these polls, I always point out that, hey, it's important to remember the election, back then, it's 9 months away. Anything can happen. It's 7 months away. It's 6 months away. It's 4 months away. And actually 3.5 months away. Still anything could happen, but likelihood at this point of anything happening in Trump's favor getting smaller literally by the day. Clock is ticking and it's running out and Trump's not looking so good. Now, I know conventional wisdom for the left says, hey, let's not get complacent with these polls, and that is true. Let's act like we're 20 points behind. Yes, that is also true. But there is one thing on the horizon that actually could flip these polls in Trump's favor, and that is the debates. That's going to be rough. That is absolutely the one thing left that could flip things in favor of Trump and against Joe Biden. Joe Biden's benefiting right now because he doesn't have to go out and do things. Because he can't really go out and do things. Not just because of the pandemic, but because of who he is. He's not good at speaking publicly and not saying crazy things. So the more he gets to hide, the better off he does. You can't hide during a debate. And Trump's going to come to that debate and just throw all kinds of wild crap at Joe Biden. He is going to sit there, make things up, and force Joe Biden to defend or basically to negate this alternate reality. It's going to be impossible to do. It's a horrible debate tactic on behalf of Trump. You'd get disqualified from an actual debate, in high school or college, but that's how Trump debates because he's not a debater. He just wants to accuse Biden of all kinds of things. Biden's going to be on the defensive trying to say, wait, what the hell? Did I actually do that? Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be bad. Joe Biden's best hope right now, like if they cancel the debates, Joe Biden's the next president of the next United States, like 100%. But as long as those debates are still on, there still exists a possibility of Donald Trump turning around these horrendous poll numbers.